What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out a title called Death Ring Second Impact. This is basically the same thing. Have you ever played The Last Spell? The Last Spell is a fantasy roguelite where you've got a team of adventurers that are trying to defend a city from the undead until wizards can banish all magic from the world, thus eliminating necromancy and making it so that the post-apocalypse or the apocalypse itself just slumps over to the side. This game seems to be kind of similar to that, except with giant Gundams fighting kaiju bugs that are trying to destroy your city. I think that that's an awesome-ass idea for a game. I'm gonna be really straight with you right now. Pacific Rim is one of my favorite stupid movies of all time. I love Pacific Rim. I wish there was more movies like Pacific Rim where they weren't worried about being anything other than entertaining. This game kind of seems like it has that energy. It's giant robots fighting giant space bugs. What's not to like about that? On a surface level, that should be instantaneously attractive to everyone. So today we're going to take a look at the Steam Next Fest demo and see if it's something that you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games you would rather not play. If after watching this you did indeed want to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description along with a bunch of other Nerd Castle links that you can check out there. But let's dive on into the game and see if it's worth our time and worth your wish list. So here we are, we've started off in our base. The first thing when I was playing around with this game that kind of like threw me off is that there's no background music for the most part. Once you get into the game, it's just quiet ambient noise of being in a desert and like the wind blowing or whatever. I don't know, I was expecting like some synthwave or something, but given the fact that the game is in demo format right now, maybe it's one of those things that they just haven't gotten around to yet, because there do seem to be pieces of music in certain parts of the game. But the basic way that this game works is that day by day we have to defend this base from the bugs that are going to be invading from various avenues all around the base. And I love the graphics in here, actually. I think the game is very sharp to look at while you're playing it. It's clear to me that someone spent a lot of time making this game very glossy visually, which I'm a big fan of. You know, with indie gaming, the baby that gets thrown out with the bathwater a lot of the time tends to be like the little details, and it tends to be the little presentational things in the pursuit of just making the core gameplay loop satisfying. That's where they dedicate their money to, and so it's sort of refreshing to see a game that actually tried to animate itself a little bit like an anime, make itself look good, look presentable, and so I'm happy to see it right there. Let's go to the hangar for right now. We've got to kit out our robot. This is the Mercury right here. We have two mechs technically inside of the demo. We have the Mercury and we have the Sandstorm, but with the narrative, the Sandstorm is currently under repair, so we're standing our ground alone trying to fight off enemies using the Mercury. At the moment, we have a standard heavy sword, which gives us a ton of different abilities that attack in different directions. It looks like the sword can also transform. I'm not a big sword guy, though. But, like, maybe I'll give the sword a go. We do have RP over here, so in the recruitment center, you can buy new pieces of equipment that will allow you to do things with your mech, from missile launchers to machine guns to heavy shotguns, for example. You can buy different things. You get to totally customize this guy. There's also module slots. These modules are kind of like DNA if you've ever played Keplerth, I think, is a good example, actually. If you've ever played Keplerth, in Keplerth you get DNA and it goes into these slots right here and you can combo them off of each other. You can do the same thing in this game with modules that change the way that your mech performs. These are the way by which inside of this grid you're going to customize your mech to use energy weapons, to specialize in missile launchers, to specialize in being a tank, to give it more ammo, all that kind of stuff. We also have the command center down here. I have not played around with the command center just yet, but from appearances right now, it appears to be very similar to the module center. The only difference is the command center seems to allow you to put mods on your mech that are like defining, basically. So a lot of the stuff you're going to find inside of here is going to be like 10% more melee damage. You take 5% less damage from the enemy hitting you. You know, you have higher HP. These over here seem to actually add more ammo counters, add more energy. So basically, these are like upgrades for your core systems, and these are upgrades that kind of supplement your ability to fire guns and how much damage they do and stuff like that, whereas this seems to be more about mech performance. Let's go back up to the surface. I guess we'll fight the enemy with a sword and save up some money. It's what the tutorial obviously wants us to do. So let's specialize for monster defense. It looks like we're going to be fighting a couple of tail beetles. beetles, pincher larvae, and tail larvae. Welcome to Rust City, Commander. A new wave of monsters is gathering and is expected to reach the base perimeter in 24 hours. The base's defensive mecha, Sandworm, is under repair, so the defense for this wave will need to be carried out by the mecha Mercury. Okay, well, let's put her on in there. She's the pilot of the Mercury. So we'll confirm our deployment real fast, and then we'll go to the next day. You do get this nice little sort of XCOM-style rollover. That's got a nice look to it, I guess. Very smooth and very polished. And we need to deploy our mecha into the field of combat. So let's go ahead and do it. I'll drop him right there. He just landed, and we're ready to rock. Okay, we've got bugs on grid. First thing I need to do is, since I've never played with the sword before, I need to figure out what the sword can do. So it looks like the sword hits a 2x2 cell on either side of me, and then this allows me to switch the damage direction of the weapon between horizontal and vertical. Interesting. I don't know exactly what that means, but let's go smash ourselves a space bug, shall we? I'm gonna dynamic bust slash this dude's face in. Good stuff. Nice squishy bug right there. And then I'll fire a missile at that one. And look at that. No more bugs. You didn't need Clark. You just needed me. You can tell the currency for what abilities we're using at the moment from this bottom bar right here. This is the amount of ammunition we have for firearms per turn. This is the amount of melee attacks we get per turn. And this is the amount of missiles that we get per turn. I only get 1 missile per turn, so I launched mine. But melee seems to focus very heavily on lots of attacks in 1 turn and high mobility. That way they can dash all over the place, beat something to death, dash to another spot, beat something to death. Where my general experience fiddling around with the demo is that most of the guns get to fire once per turn, but they do it from relative safety really, really far away. And they tend to do really good damage as well. I'm sort of curious what transforming will do. Okay. Oh, it turned my attack into an AoE. Oh, he can morph his weapon, dude. That's so sick. All right. Now let's see what we can do over here. Ow, I've been smacked. How dare you? How dare you, little bugs? All right, I'm coming down here. And now that we've got the AoE slash, we're going to let him have it. Oh, it's not an AoE. It just increases the amount of options you have for smacking enemies. Okay. I don't know the difference between the yellow and the blue bar, but from playing the game, I can tell you. The blue bar seems to go down when you hit them with melee, and the yellow bar seems to go down when you shoot them with guns, but I'm not 100% on that idea. Let's blow up... Wish I had a better explosive race. Let's just get that bug off the building, because the ultimate goal of this game is to save as many buildings as you possibly can. I've used up all of my attacks now. Yeah, I think it's ranged and physical armor. I think that's what these two are right here. Like, one is like impact armor, and the other is like how well you can soak. I think the yellow is when you're getting shot with guns, and the blue is when you're getting smacked with melee attacks. And so we don't really have anything else we can do on this turn. Let's end it real fast. And of course, another bug has moved into that place right there. I can hit both of them from right here, so I'm just going to move up. I'm going to... get you first, but it looks like some of his stuff regenerated. As far as movement goes, if I can scooch down to there... Whatever, building. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You're going to be okay, building. You're still standing, all right? You might be a little bit structurally compromised, but that's a sacrifice that I am willing to make. And down go the rest of the bugs. We've successfully completed our first day in the line of duty, holding back the never-ending space bugs. Let's confirm that, and it looks like our rewards are randomized, actually, because the last time I went through here, I got a new missile launcher that puts a field... It was a napalm launcher. I got a napalm launcher last time. This time I've got a fragment artillery, a destruction cannon. Okay. I'll keep an eye on that. We've got a new module. After you take damage, you get 10% more damage on your next turn, and then we got $200 to spend on upgrades. Cool. So what do we have to do here today? Let's get you in there, and then the base's defensive mecha Sandworm is now repaired. Please head to the core hangar of the 3rd Mecha Manufacturing Base for a situation assessment. All right. Let's depart. Yep. Go ahead and dispatch and proceed to the next day. We've got 48 hours until the next monster gets here. After communication with the security department of the mecha base, the Sandworm mecha will temporarily join your Griffin squad for coordinated operations. Talia, the pilot of the Sandworm, has short brown hair and a clean, decisive style of doing things. So you're the commander of Griffin squad. As expected, you live up to your reputation. Oh, the injury on my arm? It's no big deal. While waiting for the Sandworm to be repaired, I kept myself busy. Took down a tail larva with a single shot from an anti-material rifle in the South District. Cool. So we got a new mecha, we've got the napalm launcher now, we got a new pilot, and we got some more money. We resolved the issue. Operation Sandstorm is going to be here in about 24 hours. It looks like I can actually slot pilots in here to restore their durability. So it looks like we're going to be doing... Oh, we can actually, so we can use them as a resource. I thought that these were things on the timeline that were going to be happening. Instead, these are things right here that allow us to make our guys, instead of going into combat, they will manufacture new equipment for us. So a little bit of like a resource management bent to the game, I guess. Let's go to the hangar. We've got a couple of mechs that we need to clack out right now. I'm okay with leaving this one more or less as a melee guy. This guy right here has a heavy machine gun in their main hand. I would say let's get the fragment artillery on their back. Their left hand is being taken up by the machine gun, so they can't get another machine gun. However, we do have a tactical slot right here, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's anything that we can actually purchase for the tactical slot for right now. So I guess I'll just leave that alone. However, that leaves us with extra supplementary spots for the Mercury. So we've got a tactical device right there that technically we could throw on. We already got the fragment artillery over here, right? Okay, so we're not going to need more fragment artillery. We've got a freeze A. Okay, that's also a freeze A. It looks like we can afford a repair swarm, which I think would not be the worst idea. Let's buy one of those right there and put it on his back. That way I can release like nanite repair drones that'll fix up our mechs while we're fighting. Well, maybe we'll actually go for mobility on this guy. Yeah, give me a little jet booster on his back that allows him to get around quicker, because what I'm noticing is he needs to have like a certain amount of coherency and adjacency to enemies in order to deal damage. And so maybe the backpack will help us out right there. A light flamethrower, huh? That's what you got for me? I mean, technically, we could probably go with, does the flamethrower, it's a one-handed weapon? A beam sword? Let's try that out. I want the beam. Oh my god. There we go, dude. We've got a lightsaber. That's what's up. All right, I want the beam sword. Everything else disregard. Beam sword only run. Can I do anything over here? You're probably going to be taking damage, so let's see where we can slot that in right there. So after taking damage for one turn, your damage is increased by 10%. I can afford other stuff, but I don't know if I want it right now. Okay, I see what's going on now. So these are not this command center right here. These are not the core modules for your mechs. Instead, these are benefits that every single member of your squad gets just by being near the command center. So we all get +1 missile capacity. Sounds pretty good to me. Throw that on in there. And then I guess we could like universally give that to everybody if we had a few more slots, but it doesn't look like we do. Let's go up to the surface and we'll see what our next fight is going to look like with the bugs. So I will dispatch the commander, I will dispatch both mechs, and the action will begin. What did it say for the mission? We have received real-time communication from Ideal City, Bellhaven. The Mecha Emperor Yan will provide cover for strategic logistics units which are expected to arrive inside of 72 hours. Given that there are still some monsters remaining around the 3rd Mecha manufacturing base, we need to surround the area, or clear the surrounding area before their arrival. Okay. Let us begin the action. Oh, we're in a different spot right now. We're not fighting around the base. Okay, let's get her deployed, and let's get our gunner deployed behind some rocks over here. We'll complete that deployment. They'll drop in from orbit looking spicy. Dude, that laser sword is so sick. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Okay, what can I do here? So I can move over to here, and I can fire a scatter shot right there. It's a shotgun. Okay, I'm down with the shotgun life. I don't know how aggressively I want to push into enemy territory just yet, but we'll move over to here. And what do you have going on as far as like supplementary resources? You can bomb them out. Go ahead and bomb them out. Do it. Didn't kill him, but it did considerable damage. I need 2 in order to fire that. Oof, bummer. Okay. Oh, you've got more bullets? Oh, dude, I could fire a whole bunch of times with the shotgun. Okay. How do I use my boost here? So for 35 energy, I can get more movement, but it's not very much movement. Instead, I'd be sort of inclined. Let's move over to here. And we will give off a missile launch right there. Didn't kill anything, unfortunately. But if I boost over to here, we may be able to do something. So get him with the tactical slash. Good stuff. What's an overload slash do? It gets 25 energy and all stacks of energizing, deals thermo vertical chop on enemies within range. I mean, it sounds awesome. I like that it has a different animation and that the sword like powered up and got more spicy, but we did use up a lot of our energy on that turn. So we are going to have to wait for our energy to come back. Okay, I do have an extra missile slot, so technically I could bomb out one of these dudes. Let's do it. I do like that the environment is destructible as well. That's very attractive. Just making sure that I don't have anything else I can do on this guy. I think we're solid. End the turn. Okay, a little bit of scuffing to the overall chassis, but I think we'll be all right. Give me a tactical slash right there. Good stuff. It looks like we're building up heat right now. So as far as I can tell, we take damage for every stack of heat that's on our mech at the end of a given turn. He's not overheated at all. Yeah, get him with the scatter shot then. Good stuff. Let's move up because you've still got more shots to fire. Go ahead and bust on him. Bow, 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 bow. He's still not dead, unfortunately. I wish that he was, but he ain't. So instead, maybe we'll launch cannons right there. Ooh, we missed. Okay, this is going to become troublesome. I can tell already. Sword guy, move yourself up to right here. And let's just give him the old tactical slashies. Good stuff. Give him another one. Okay. If you can, missile strike him out, please. And he has been missile struck, and then we'll pull back a little bit just to protect ourselves. I don't know if facing really matters inside of this game, but I think that's about all we can do on that turn right there. It seems like we've used up most of our ammo. Let's let the enemy close up with us. They're still firing ranged attacks, so that's definitely going to be something we need to keep in mind. His armor is almost broken, but we do have an opening right there. So let's take that opening. Every dead bug is a bug that's not attacking humanity right now. Get him with everything you've got. Good stuff. All right, you're all tapped out. Pull back a little bit. Force them to come forward. I have enough energy for a boost, but that doesn't leave me a ton of energy left for fighting enemies. So instead, I would say fall back and regroup and just let your heat go down for this turn. Yeah, because we're taking decent amounts of damage just from our heat at the moment. Yeah, that cut us back down to 6, and it looks like it's taking from our yellow meter first. It is a little bit strange that, like, melee attacks build up heat. I would assume that heat would mostly be for, like, energy weapons or something like that, but far be it from I to complain. Let's step forward a little bit. We'll see if we can missile strike that group. Not too terrible. I'll take it. I've got another missile, so we might as well. There goes 3 more of them. And then we'll pull you back to avoid any overheating or any bad things happening. Okay, that's good. Pull forward. We're going to shotgun this guy. Down he goes. Not really anything to worry about on that turn, so I'll go ahead and just let heat dissipate a little bit. Oh, their attacks put heat on me. That's where it's coming from. We're only getting like 1 heat per attack. Their little spitter tail things that they're putting on me right there are what's making it so that we're building up so much heat. Not bad. I'll take it. Give him another one. I don't know if this is going to be enough to score the kill. I think this mech right here definitely needs melee damage upgrades. I think that'd be the way to do it. I do like how melee characters can just keep attacking until they run out of energy, though. That's really nice. Let's rotate that way, and we'll see if we can get a nice little bit of buckshot on this little dork right here. All right, down they go. They've been taken care of, and we've survived yet another scuffle with the enemy. Mission complete. The base has secured some recruitment points for us, which we can use in the hangar to make targeted upgrades to our mechs. Cool. Does anything need to be repaired? How beat up are we right now? So we've got a little bit of armor gone right there. I'm sort of wondering if the blue meter is like energy shield for when you're being shot with energy weapons, and then the yellow is just your solid plate armor over here. It'd also be nice to see some degradation effects like scuffs, scorch marks, rusting along the edges and things like that. If your yellow starts to get lower and lower and lower, I feel like that would be a nice immersive effect to have inside of the game. I would also love to be able to paint my mechs. That's one of those things that I think should come like core baseline in any mech game, is I should be able to customize how metallic I am, what colors I am, what camouflage pattern I'm inside of. Those things make these kinds of games fun. And we've got a little bit of money, but it's not very much right now. I like the energy sword, so I think I'm going to stick with that. But I don't want to drink from the same well too much, because what I've noticed here is both my energy sword and my boost take up energy. So I think what may be a better plan is if we're going to keep the jump pack, instead we should go back to a non-energy sword. That way, every time I swing the sword, I'm not losing energy, basically. And it'll leave me freed up to basically boost around and be really, really agile. I think that would be a better play. For this guy, I'm not super hugely into the heavy shotgun, actually. The heavy shotgun was not what I expected, and so I'd like to do something different. The Manovsky Particle Sword. It's not very expensive. I could just get like an LMG, though, and just like fire at the enemy. It looks like it gives me 2 shots per turn. How does that compare to that guy? That guy gives me 3 shots per turn. However, that does leave my left hand open, so that technically this guy... Oh my god, we are so dope, dude. They gave us that Mace Windu sword. I am officially Mecha Mace Windu. We're all out of RPs for right now. So I would go back up to the surface, and let's put a pilot in for both repairing one mech and maybe manufacture a new piece of equipment. I don't know what's going to happen here. Repairs are complete. Loadout manufacturing completed. Please inspect. We now have a transformable heavy machine gun. So it looks like it alternates in between. Can I get more details on this? Like, what is it? So I've got snipe, but it says that it can transform. So I think it's a sniper rifle that can transform into a heavy machine gun. I think. That's what it looks like to me, and it'll swap these 2 abilities out. I was hoping there was something I could hold down that would show the attack cards for once we have it transformed. It looks like it's got 2 different transformations, too. Although how they differ, I can't really say. Monster defense operation. Okay, Leon's in there, and it looks like we've got a destroyer and a number of other nasties waiting for us. Let's deploy and we'll go to the next day. I can deploy wherever I want. Bugs are coming from that way. Okay. Let's get you into position up front. And let's get you into position, like, kind of in the back, I guess, since you have a gun. And then we'll, like, start this thing off. I guess I could have deployed further that way, too. This is going to require a little bit of movement. Bugs, they are inside. Ow! Okay. All right. I see you. I see what you're getting after. How about this? How about you eat this missile strike? Yeah, popped you like a zit. All right, and then what do we want to do with this guy up front? Actually, let me look over here. I've got slash and I've got quick shot. If I move him forward by a couple, I think I can make it hit 2 enemies at once. No. Okay, fire. Ooh, that was satisfying. Okay, I like that. Down he goes. He's been taken care of. I do have my cannon over here, too. Let's fire that at them. Unfortunately, we missed one of the shots, so we didn't secure a kill right there. But I think we've got Great Sword Strike. It costs 2 dash forward and launch a charge dynamic slash on the enemies within range, dealing 296 damage. Okay. Let's boost over to here. And I think a missile strike right there should clear them out. Down they go. Our boost is still active, so I'll use my boost to close the gap with this guy. We've got dynamic burst slash right here. And so we should be able to do some real good stomping time energy over here. There we go. Maybe it's just different resistance types take from the blue and the yellow meter. Like some attack yellow, some attack blue. It's probably denoted on the cards over here. Yeah, because there's thermo damage. It looks like there's energy damage. It looks like there was ice damage when we have this big two-handed claymore. So I'm guessing, like, it's just, it depends. What do I have left right now? You've got a missile left. I'm not crazy into the idea of firing it, though. Maybe just move up and give this guy some laser sword. There you go. We've got plenty of energy now that we've changed around his loadout, so we should be able to just, like, inevitably keep swinging. I might have blown my entire, I guess, ordnance load on that first mob, but hey, we got him off the field, so that's nice. These guys are attacking buildings, and they are also attacking me. Honestly, the biggest problem that I see with this game right now... That was fun. The main thing that I see with the game right now, just to my eye, looking at it... Wow, that thing is stiff. He's not taking any damage, is he? Good lord. The lack of a soundtrack. The game needs to have like a pumping JRPG. Like, you know the music that a JRPG plays when you're fighting like a couple of level 5 enemies when you first start out the game? And it's got like the screeching guitars, like, you know, and it gets like all heavy and like it's super epic even though all you're doing is like beating a weevil to death. That's the kind of music that this game needs. It's missing from the equation. That makes the whole game kind of come across a little bit sterile without just like pumping heavy metal music in the background, like nonstop meedly-meedlies and finger taps and sweet picking and everything else. Like, gotta get that in there. Gotta get that in there. The game requires it. I think this guy has used up pretty much all the things he can do except for like a quick missile strike right there. And so I'll throw out a missile strike, but for right now the production values are on point. The game feels a little bit sterile, I think, due to the lack of a soundtrack and also the menu-based nature of the in-between portion right here. I think it could use a few more heavier feeling parts and sound effects for when you're like clicking in between menus with the various animation wipes and whatnot they could use to kind of maintain that high-octane mecha fighting momentum that the game is trying to cultivate, but by and large, I'm really impressed by the animations and the way that the mechs look and the way that they move around. I'm having a good time playing it so far, so hopefully they get those things into the game because it seems like somebody has made something here that they care about, and so I will always support anything that's got giant battle mechs doing anything. I'm just a giant battle mech fan. I enjoy battle mechs, and I'm not going to apologize for it. But for right now, we're about out of time for the day. So my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with Death Ring Second Impact. Oh my god, I did it, dude. Since I started recording this episode, I was like terrified that I was not going to be able to remember this game's name because it's got a name with a lot of syllables and a lot of stuff going on. All right. But I pulled it off. I pulled it off. Everyone be proud of me for not being a giant sloppy screw up in doing my core basic functions of day-to-day work. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on in, and that's about all I got for you. Bye, folks.